You're scrolling through your phone at midnight. You have 400 friends online. You have not spoken to a real person in 3 days, and your chest feels tight for no reason you can name. That tightness is not random. That tightness is ancient. But the real answer is far stranger than sadness. Your loneliness is not a mood, it's an alarm. 200,000 years ago, being alone did not feel bad because solitude is unpleasant. It felt bad because solitude was lethal. The humans separated from the group had no one to watch for predators while they slept. No one to share the kill. No one to warn them the water was poisoned. Alone meant dead most of the time. So your ancestors' brains built a system, a siren, a feeling so uncomfortable that it would force a lone human back toward the group before the wolves found them first. You inherited that siren. It still runs today. And it cannot tell the difference between a saber-toothed cat and a Tuesday night with no plans. Dr. John Cacioppo, a neuroscientist who spent decades studying isolation at the University of Chicago, called this the loneliness loop. He found that chronic loneliness raises cortisol, disrupts sleep, and puts the body into a low-grade state of threat detection that never fully switches off. Your brain, quite literally, starts scanning every face for signs of rejection, not because you're paranoid, because 100,000 years of ancestors who didn't scan for rejection didn't survive long enough to pass on their genes. Here's where it gets stranger. Loneliness doesn't just feel like fear. Brain imaging shows it activates almost the exact same regions as physical pain. Dr. Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA ran an experiment where participants played a simple ball-tossing game, rigged so the other players eventually stopped throwing to them. Left out, excluded, nothing physically happened, nobody touched them, their brains lit up anyway. The same regions that fire when your hand touches a hot stove, fired when a video game character stopped passing them a ball. Why would exclusion hurt like a burn? Because for most of human history, the two threats were nearly identical. A hot stove could kill you today. Being cast out of the group could kill you next week. Evolution doesn't rank its warnings by how fast they'll harm you. It just makes them both hurt enough that you'll never ignore them. Think about that the next time someone says, "Just get over it." You cannot logic your way out of a fire alarm. And loneliness is your oldest fire alarm. Now here's the twist almost nobody talks about. The alarm was built for small groups. 50 people, 100 maybe in the largest tribes anthropologists have studied. Your brain expects to know everyone around you. It expects faces it recognizes, voices it can place, people who would notice if you vanished. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar calculated the actual number your brain can meaningfully track. Around 150 stable relationships, not 400 online friends, not 12,000 followers. So picture this, you live in a city of 9 million people. You pass hundreds of faces a day. Your phone buzzes constantly with notifications shaped like connection. And yet your ancient alarm system looks around, does the math it has always done, and concludes something is deeply wrong. Too many strangers, too few people who would notice if you disappeared. The alarm goes off, not because you're broken, because the environment changed faster than the alarm could. Your ancestors solved loneliness by walking back to the fire. There was always a fire. There was always a group sitting around it. And rejoining them switched the alarm off almost instantly. A hand on the shoulder, a shared meal, a familiar laugh across the flames. The threat detection would quiet. Cortisol would drop, and the body would remember it was safe. You don't have a fire most nights. You have a screen that glows the same color as one. And the glow tricks the alarm just enough to keep you scrolling, but not enough to ever fully switch it off. Because a face on a screen is not a body sitting 3 feet away. Your nervous system knows the difference, even when your conscious mind doesn't. This is why a text message can feel almost like connection and still leave you hollow an hour later. The alarm wants proximity. It wants a shared physical space, a synchronized breath, a shoulder within reach. It does not fully believe in pixels. Here's the part that should change how you think about it entirely. Loneliness isn't a personal failure. It's not proof that something is wrong with your personality or that you're bad at making friends. It's a signal doing exactly the job it was built for, in a world it was never built for. The stove is still hot, the alarm still works, but the kitchen has changed shape completely, and nobody warned the smoke detector. So what do you do with an alarm that won't stop ringing? You don't mute it. Muting a smoke detector doesn't put out the fire. You go looking for what the ancient part of your brain is actually asking for. Not more contacts, not more notifications, a small, real group, a handful of people who would notice your absence, a fire in whatever form your modern life allows it to take. Because somewhere underneath the phone, underneath the scrolling, underneath 400 friends who never call, there's still a 100,000-year-old signal doing the only thing it has ever known how to do. It's not telling you that you're weak. It's telling you to come back to the fire. You're scrolling through your phone again at midnight, but this time you notice the tightness in your chest for what it actually is. Not sadness, not weakness, just the oldest alarm you own, still faithfully doing its job, still waiting for you to walk back toward the people who would notice if you were gone.